Being hired as an independent contractor. I currently work as a general contractor doing janitorial services and finishing work on move-outs and remodels. I've had multiple people reach out to me offering work. The issue is, I'm getting a lot of offers that pay on a $1,099. I typically charge $35/hour. These companies pay $9-12/hour, are not responsible for payroll taxes or workman's comp, nor are they protecting me from a client suing me for any reason. At $12/hour, having to save back for self-employment taxes, buying me own supplies, etc., why are they always so hostile when I decline? I live in a state that's minimum wage is still $7.23. Full-time, that's under $1,200/month. My rent alone is $1,000. I actually have a desired skill set. How is this legal? The part in Dirty Harry that really stuck with me. I noticed the killer, Scorpio, has a job as graveyard shift groundskeeper, and it pays him enough to afford a small apartment. In the 70s, a psycho killer had a job that paid him enough to afford a roof over his head. I'll repeat that, in the 70s, before Reaganomics made that impossible, you could be a psycho killer and still get a job that pays you enough for basic essentials. Whereas nowadays, you can be a wonderful person and still not be able to make rent. Laughed at. I got invited to a senior management meeting for the first time. Was asked if the staff in my department were happy, I replied no. They looked genuinely shocked, asking why. We maintain the building for another company. I explained this company gave their staff 7% pay rise and £3,000 towards the cost living. We got 1%. Then belly laughing started. Tell if they don't like it, leave. I explained they are. More laughing. I was speechless. We are nothing to them. So many recruiters are dumbfounded that I ask for the salary range on the first interview. I mean, don't we all work for money? 'Cause bruh, if I was a millionaire, I wouldn't work a damn day ever again. I got so much better shit to do than work. I actually wanna live. Getting my head around how to change careers and why won't people talk about what their profession is. As a lurker on this sub, I read a lot of comments about how they are getting better pay/benefits when switching to a competitor company. And my question is, why won't you say what your profession is so we get a grasp on what you do? I doubt that what you do is an extremely rare profession and only 100 people in the entire world only do what you do, and if you talk about it you will get outed by your peers. But letting us know what your occupation is and how the competitor found you would be at least helpful. I support everyone that gets paid more than what they were and get giddy when someone gets a brand new opportunity. Me personally, I've been a warehouse worker for 10 years now here in NE. I started at $8.50 in 2012, and when my manager asked me to go with him to a new company this past February, I was very happy. I ended with $15.50 at that job and started with $17 at my current job, and after 6 months of working at another warehouse I already hate it and it is draining me mentally. Now I really want to try a new profession, but my big problem is I don't know what I want to do. I don't have clear goals for my future. I just want out of working at a warehouse and somewhere I can use my problem-solving skills to be put to use. I know the personal problems that I have are stopping me to advance my career. I would like some general tips on how to change from a warehouse worker to anything else. I just need help. And I'll say where I worked. It was called OTC. I drank a lot of their Kool-Aid and fell for it for 10 years. I live in Indianapolis. 2 mass shootings 5 miles apart within 2 hours happened yesterday. I work about a half mile from the Greenwood Park Mall, and I'm expected to just go into work all day hunky-dory? I dunno. It's all just so surreal. 5 people dead in 2 mass shootings in my city right down the road from me, and I'm expected to just be totally fine. It's completely wild. My wife and I are safe, and so are all of our friends, luckily. It's just, I am having a hard time processing it. A friend of mine said something I'm not sure I'll ever forget. The system lurches forward emboldened by its ever-lightening load. Rambling thoughts over. How are you guys processing the day? Your promotion didn't go through, and we don't know why. I'll keep this short because I'm on the clock. Heh. I work for a big OL media company. I'm a retail merchandiser. I go into grocery stores, I scan things, I make them look good. And I guess I'm good at it. I started in February. In May I was offered a promotion to be peer support, which includes training new hires and covering stores we don't have anyone assigned to. The main job is covering stores. I'm in a big metropolitan area, and we are at 41% staff. There's a lot of area I have to cover each week. My week went from 20 store visits to 50. I put about 250 miles a week on my car. In May, I was told the job is mine, I'm the only candidate. My boss told me it will take a little bit of time to go through, but I will be paid retroactively to the day I was offered the job in May. June goes by. Every time I ask, my boss says it should have gone through, but don't worry, you'll be paid retroactively. Most of July has gone by. They told me some confusing shit. They said it's been sent up to some national guy for approval and it's been approved, they just don't know when. Then Jay get told Friday last week that it was approved in early June, they just don't know why it's not in the computer system, whatever that means. I email my boss and his boss the week before asking if I will still be paid retroactively. It's been 2 months now. Didn't get an email back. Today, my boss calls me and says it just didn't go through, someone dropped the ball and right now they're in a hiring freeze, so the earliest foreseeable time it will go until effect is late August/early September. He also told me they would fight to get paid all the way back to May, but they're not promising it. He did not email this information. My boss and his boss, some regional figure, want to take me out to lunch next week. As if a goddamn sandwich will fix any of this. Since I can't seem to get them to give me anything in writing yet, I'm at least going to record the whole lunch meeting on my phone. Yeah, know what I'm gonna tell them? Some personal events in my life that this whole thing has affected significantly. I have a friend who bought a small manufactured home this year. It's 2-bed, 1-bath, kitchen, nice area, newly remodeled for $800/month. Me and him go way back, and I've been in recovery for alcoholism and I'll have a year in September. He plans to move to California and I can move in the house and pay him rent. I've been living in halfway houses and rehab for almost 4 years now. He wants to help me live a good life and I'm so grateful for it. But, this whole house deal was riding on me getting the pay raise or not, and now I don't think I'll be able to afford it, and it's not going to come in time before he moves out and has to rent it to someone else. So I'm going to miss out on affordable housing, something that's a fantasy to people my age and without a degree, all because of this corporate bullshit. I've lost all my motivation to even work. I'm taking off an hour early today. I'm doing piss poor work. I'm looking for something else. I like this job, but I'm really pissed off as an employee by this. Any tips on how I can strong-arm these people to actually pay me back to when I took on the new responsibilities? What can I do? Discovered I am the lowest paid employee on my team. My co-workers and I discussed wages and people finally opened up about what they were paid. A new employee is making $3 more per hour than me and about 50 cents more than our team lead, who has been with the company 7 years. I've been with the company in IT for 4 years, dropped everything to cover a night shift team member who ended up dying to COVID that same month. No raise in 2020 because according to my boss everyone did amazing. First time I hadn't received a pay raise in a decade. I was the sole person in the office for 4 months on my team, answering all the calls, setting up those with less experience on how to hook up to the VPN on their home machines. I'm the constant go-to for my manager to update documentation and write up new docs for our S400 system. I don't know what to do to demand more money knowing what I now know. Any pointers someone has would be most helpful. Thanks for reading. Ironic that my best supervisor is at the worst company I have worked for. I joined a company in September 2021. I received a sign-on bonus. My contract told me that if I left before 1 year, then I had to pay the full amount back. Not long in, I realized that this was not a good fit, but I was stuck with the bonus. So I decided to stick it out for the year. As the year progressed, I developed imposter syndrome and depression, neither of which I had experienced previously. It started to affect my personal life. I was completely honest with my supervisor and kept her on the loop. She was always empathetic with me. She knew I was planning on leaving at the 1 year mark. However, my mental health got so bad that I decided it was worth it to get a new job and just pay back the money, even though I had less than 2 months. I found a job with a 40% pay increase, so it made financial sense to take it. I got the job and told my supervisor I was leaving. She told me that she was happy for me and that she is a human first. She then reached out to her boss and negotiated that I only have to pay a prorated amount back. She then reached out to HR and told them that she did not want to pursue payback at all. I got the green light, and although legally bound to pay the full amount back, my supervisor went to bat for me and got it all waived. Now I am starting a new job 1 month earlier than expected with no penalty, and with a 40% higher paycheck. I am feeling hopeful again. Coworker keeps reporting me for absolutely no reason. I have this coworker. She was the one that trained me, and for some reason every time I did something wrong she'd look at me and suck her teeth. I'd ask how to do it correctly and she'd walk away. I'd then watch her and copy what she does and she still tells me I'm doing it wrong when though she did it. Anyways, she constantly is reporting me to my boss since I'm doing everything incorrectly when no one is teaching me. Like she reported me for drying clothes in the dryer as opposed to outside. She reported me for sweeping in the morning and night saying it's wasteful. Then for some reason my boss tells me I need to do better when she reports me. How TF do I deal with this problem? I just got reported again cause I left the sponge in the sink as opposed to near the handles. It's always stupid shit. This time my boss yelled at me asking how am I the only one getting reported. Also there's this group chat with just co-workers minus me, and according to another co-worker, she talks about me in there. A rant, because employers keep saying people don't want to work. I had applied back in mid-June for a position for one of the big 5 Canadian banks, in the wealth management department. A few weeks later I receive an email from the office manager asking if we could chat over the phone, to which I agree happily as I have been looking to switch jobs for a while now. We agree on a date and all is good. The day of the call I am in my office and I tell my boss that I need a 15 minutes break in order to take an important call, but, surprise surprise, this new prospect employer never calls. I am a bit bummed since this looks like a great opportunity. However, I just recently had another call with another prospective employer who looks and sounds fantastic on paper, so after a few hours I send an email just asking if something had happened, and if we could reschedule. The office manager replies saying they are going on vacation and will reach out next week when they come back. Okay, fair enough. They return and they contact me again, we agree on another date and all is well. The day comes and again, no call. At this point I'm done with this because I value my time, and move on with my life. One day later, while I am on a call at work I see my phone ringing and guess who it is? The office manager. They ring twice and don't leave a message, nor follow up with any emails. Sorry, but I'm not willing to waste my time and energy with someone who does not value nor respect them. End of rant. Was told in June my salary would go up from $51,000 to $64,000. Got an email today saying it was a mistake and it'll only be $54,000. What are my options? I'm in need of advice from people smarter than me. I'm a teacher in Chicago, not CPS, no union. We have a set compensation scale based on years of experience. This past year I made $51,000 and was expecting to make $54,000 next year based on the salary schedule. At the end of the school year, I had a meeting with both my principal and AP and received a letter, signed by my principal, stating my salary for next year would be $64,000. I was both confused and thrilled about the larger than expected raise but didn't ask about the increase. I received an email from HR today stating that they quoted me the salary for a teacher with more experience and that I'll be making $54,000 next year and not $64,000. What are my options? Is the signed letter legally binding or am I sole